Man, there's dog turds everywhere back here. Look. Max is around. All right. Where's Ferguseed?
He's inside the garage.
He's supposed to get that bitch out here. We're supposed to. No more talking about shit. He's supposed to be out here helping.
What's his?
All right, guys, we're about to start. Where's Nick? Hey, Skinny, you're with me on this. Do it.
One that was turned around.
So if you're explaining anything, well, no, talk at my knife because I got a mic on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, real quick, let's you and I go over what has to be done. We need about, I guess if we're gonna add the perlite layer, 6 inches of gravel.
Yeah.
About 1 inch perlite in there. We also need to mix the compost with, we got
The peat moss.
And 1 bag of perlite, and we might not need 3 bags to get a layer on here.
Yeah.
And we might as well mix it if we have it.
Yeah.
And then 3 bags of that as a topper.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
We got the tractor on the backside with that nice trailer hooked up and ready to go. But I think we bring the dirt over because it's gonna be really light and airy with the wheelbarrows. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
And the pipes back there too, we're gonna do 3 pieces of pipe. And we wanna do peat moss only in those?
I think so.
I think it makes sense. All right. Because it's not gonna get all
Yeah.
scangly gangly.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Get everybody out here. It's like the airlines. You have a flight booked, but if you don't show up on time, they just leave without your ass. Okay, what I want to start out with is what we're doing here right now. These types of things like microgreens, high dollar profit stuff, easy intensive growing systems, putting in these wicking beds, are all the types of things that I should have done in the first year instead of planting thousands and thousands of dollars worth of trees that are now dead. We really, I mean, we're gonna do a property walk later and you're gonna see a lot of what we're doing. It's exciting and all, but if I had done what I would advise you to do instead of what I was gonna do myself because I was bullheaded, when I moved in, I would have sheet mulched from that wall to this wall and put a system like this in and put a little garden like that in, and that would have been it. And I would have focused on this little area for at least a year. Zone 0.5, right? This is actually, so, you know, you might look at my house and you say zone 1's when you walk out your door. But when it comes to doing anything with deep roots or whatever, this is our zone 1 because right in front of our door is a leach field where everything's dead anyway, even though it's a leach field. Think about that when you look at this property. But so we want to be very water wise here. So what we're building is wicking beds in stock tanks. You could do this in anything. You could do a raised bed with a hole in the ground, if you could dig one where you live, with a pond liner and do the same thing we're gonna do. But all we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in, we have 1 inch crushed stone, and we were gonna do pea gravel, and Nick and I were at the materials place, and we were thinking about how nasty pea gravel can get. And the 1 inch rock gives a lot of space. But then we're thinking, we don't want too much of the soil mix to infiltrate down into there. So what Nick came up with is we're gonna do about a 1 inch layer of perlite on top of the rocks. A little will go down in there. And then we're gonna do soil mix to the top. These pipes are actually plumbed level down to the end, and that pipe runs, and you can, when you come up and look, you can look in this one because it's a little bit more narrow. And Tractor Supply says this tank only is 2 gallons less than the other tanks. I don't believe them. But they build them a little narrower and a little higher so they can stack inside each other. So if you're designing something using these tanks and you're getting your dimensions off a website, I would go down to wherever you're gonna buy your tanks and actually measure them because they are different. These 2 are different than this one. But the bottoms are all the same. And we have them on what we call redneck level, right? So it's not Jeff Lawton level, it's pretty damn level. And they're sitting on cinder blocks, and we also have an additional cinder block in the center of each one to support all this weight so the bottom doesn't rot out. Single pipe goes across. If we fill one, all three will fill uniform, because that's how water works. Little piece sticking out the end down there. John got excited when we built these, so he kept filling them up on me with water, because he liked to watch them fill up, you know, uniformly. Yeah, but I didn't want water in them. I had to put dirt in them first. So by just turning that down there, they all drained almost to the bottom. And we can set whatever level we want the water in just by turning that dry fitted piece of pipe at the end. And if we decide we want it higher, we can just take a little bit longer piece and stick it in there.
Is it still dry fitted?
It should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just tight.
It's tight.
Yeah.
It's good and tight. German's torque specifications. Anyway, so there's a couple things we need to do, and there's a lot of you. So we can kind of break up. One thing I do want to point out, tomorrow we're doing fermented foods, and I want to use my jalapenos. So if you get bored, inside the garden over there, you can step over the fence. There's a bunch of jalapeno plants. We got to pick them too while we're doing this. Got to make that work. But we need to do a soil mix. So we have a yard of compost back there. We're going to mix into that compost a bale and a half of peat moss, but we need to save a little peat moss separately. I'm counting on you to keep an eye on that. Because what we're going to do is in each one of these, when we take the perforated pipe, we're going to cut a piece of perforated pipe about 8 inches long. And we're going to put 3 pieces in each one that go all the way to the bottom. And we're going to fill those with peat moss. And they're going to be surrounded with the 1-inch rock and the perlite. And what that's going to do is create a wicking system up into the soil, so that you have wicking all the way to the bottom, because rocks do not wick water, right? So it's like, what I've seen everybody else do is they take like a basket, like a water garden basket, and put it in there. Pipe's easy to cut with a knife. Anybody got a knife? A few people? All right, so we'll cut the pipe and we'll use that to make channels and we'll hit it. You wanna maybe take folks to do the mix? And you guys can go back and forth between them, and we need some folks to come with me to my truck and start bringing rock over. One thing I do want you guys to kind of come forward and see what we're doing here. So with the perforated pipe, anybody ever worked with a string pipe before? It's real easy stuff. And these are the fittings, and it just snaps in. You cut a piece and snaps in. So in front of each drain, to make sure that doesn't get skanked up and plug and not overflow, we're gonna put a T right up against there like that. And then the pipe will come out both ends. Got it? And that's just to keep an open spot for that water to come out. On this side, and it's the only one we're gonna do, we're gonna take a 90. So the pipe on this side will come up with a 90. That'll sit in it, and that's your filler. So we can fill all 3 tanks from one fill hole. But I think what we should do is put it on that end, because we have the rain tanks over there. So we'll put this one down on that corner, because that makes more sense as a function stack, does it not, Nick? So this tank will set our filler pipe in. So what that means is as we start bringing the rock in, we need to get the pipe cut first. And as you're filling the rock, you need to get this guy and make sure somebody holds it up against here until you get enough rock in to hold it. We want to come up 6 inches with the rock, not 7. 5 would be okay, because you can add more. I don't want to take it back out, because we're going to do that 1-inch layer of perlite. Everybody cool? Everybody got it? Really simple.
When you're filling up the wicking beds, you keep filling up until that starts leaking.
Yep.
Pretty much, and then you're like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Because that's
right.
how much.
Which is also awesome is like, so let's say you have it set, because right now, if you use it just like that, it'll hold 7 inches.
So the water level will be
So if you walk here and it's 1 inch down from the top of that pipe, you got 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
And you can just basically look at it. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. John set it up that way, but because I know what's going to happen. And it'll break. But basically, it's like a sight level. You can just look at it and know how much water you have. And it has to fill up uniformly, because that's, again, how water works. Because like the top of any dam, any water, any lake, anywhere, unless the wind's blowing really hard, it's perfectly level. If you can put a dam in it ain't perfectly level, you've done something cool. You got water to hang, on the edge. So, yeah, you want to do the mixing, I'll do the rock. So,
Hey, who should I follow?
follow me.
All right.
He sucks.
All right.
I'm mic'd.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let me give him the mic. And
it did sound a lot more interesting than hauling rock.
yeah, the mix is kind of important.
Yeah.
And just remind him to make sure he saves some peat moss.
Okay.
What the hell's going on here? Oh.
Just scrape up against your chest there. Hey Nick, we're gonna mic you up.
Go ahead and get what you need.
Who is this?
Just get your mic up real quick.
Yeah, we don't need a mic for this.
Huh? Well, you just might as well get it done and run that up your shirt. Or drop that down.
When you
I
up
know.
there, make sure you tickle him.
Yeah, I can like, you got that right. On.
Perfect. You even
Good.
knew to put away the knife.
Hmm?
You even knew to put away the knife.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you have the whole plant propagation
Yeah.
course. So you
I've done a little bit of filming.
Yeah, totally.
Alrighty. If anyone wants to help me clean all this crap out of here, we'll use this to mix the... I want to get that grass out so we don't mix grass into his mix and give him headaches down the road. Yeah.
Okay, you guys get like something like that for mixing,
Okay.
and give us the shovels.
Oh, okay.
At least for a minute.
Grass free. Big hunch?
I'll rake it out of the way and you chop the little stuff. And we're stacking functions for Jack right now because he needed this done anyways. Those rogue hoes are awesome.
What's that one called?
Rogue hoe?
Rogo, yeah. I remember him talking about that a while back.
Yep. Here, let me scrape.
Another go?
Yep. If he gets one of these in his bed, he'll be fighting it for years. Where is Jack?
Give it over.
That corner? Okay. Jack.
Yep.
You're setting that that one bed up as a seedling bed, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you
But if you fill it with anything, it should move before.